Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name's Lumen and today we're having a look at Wildhearts. This is a unique twist on the monster hunting genre where technology gives you a fighting chance against fearsome beasts infused with the ferocious power of nature itself. In this game you can fight these kimono with friends or alone, your choice, and you can use the karakuri, that's the ancient technology I mentioned, to craft your own hunting grounds to give you an edge in the battle. You can also create some pretty awesome looking characters, and that's what we're here for today. So if you'd like to do a deep dive and discover more about the game for yourself, you can find some links below, and I'm going to, as always, say that the timestamps will be your friend in a video like this. There's going to be a lot of stuff. Speaking of a lot of stuff, you can find the characters that I made for the thumbnail at the end of the video. I put sped up versions of their creation there for anyone who's interested. You can check that out by following the timestamp below. Jump between the different parts of this video, find what you're looking for, leave satisfied. That's all I ask. We're going to start by looking at the presets. Then we're going to be jumping into male customization, and after that, female. But there will be a whole lot of different parts in between. You will see. So, let's get started. The presets that they give you here, in my opinion, looking pretty good. Varied enough. You can see that the game has a specific style. Your character, the backstory and stuff that you bring along with it, I think that you sort of get to decide on some of that for yourself. I answered a few questions in the small tutorial section before I started. I don't know how those play into the game. I think that they might just be fluff, but you get to make your own personality in this. You get to craft your own hunter, and you get to be the character you want to be. And they definitely give you enough options here to sort of make something that could represent what you're looking for. You can see already that they've got a lot of different ethnicities covered here. You will see that they have the skin tones covered, the hairstyles. You'll definitely see that they've got some awesome options there. And all the rest. You can even make some older looking characters and some younger looking characters. So in terms of the presets, this will, as always, well, it's not always, but as in most cases, this will just be a place where you start. So you can pick one of these. I'm going to be picking the default male here. And I'm just going to go from there. It just gives you a good starting point. They customize, you know, some of the different parts of the character. And if you like the way the character looks, so if, for instance, if you think this is a good place to start, you take this one and then you start customizing. Yeah, so you pick the one you think looks good and you go. But let me just say that there are enough options here. There are definitely enough options here for you to make something most likely better than what they have in the presets. I know you guys are creative. I've seen some of the stuff that you guys have made. So, as we get started here on the male customization, you will see what I mean. I keep talking about all the options. They've got a fantastic mix here. They got some sliders. They got some interesting presets to pick from, and a whole lot more. First things first, you get to pick your face. Now, this is very interesting because what they're doing here is they're giving you a full face. They're not just giving you a shape. They're not just letting you like sculpt it into a different shape on its own. They're actually giving you the whole package. They're giving you the eyes, ears, mouth, nose. They're giving you the facial hair. They're giving you the wrinkles around the eyes. They're giving you the lot of it. And I think that's actually kind of cool. Because what you can then do is, and as you can see the skin color as well, you can sort of customize some of the different parts that you want. Then you can come back and sort of change the face if you think that you made some mistake somewhere, or maybe one of the settings, one of those sliders was dragged a little too far, if you know what I'm saying. You can come back here and you can sort of rectify that, or try and rectify that by mixing things up a little bit. It's as always, I think, something that should be treated as a starting point. You know, you can sort of pick one of those other ones there, or you can jump in here and pick one of these ones. It's cool. It's cool. This is, again, just the face. So you aren't touching the body stuff. There are body customization options. You aren't touching most of the other stuff. Although, you know, these do throw, like, beards on your character. I assume on the female side of things, they'll throw some makeup on, and so on and so forth. But you can see that, as a good example, the hair is the same on all of them. So if you do something really cool with your hair, then you come over here and you want to just change the face, you can do that. So again, these are just presets. We're going to pick this one and we're going to carry on. Now you get to pick the face shape. Okay? And this is deceiving. It's like, I looked at it and I was like, okay, well, I mean, sure. Yeah, like, we've got 12 options here. I mean, that's decent, right? I mean, I think that's pretty decent, right? You're picking different options here that are giving you honestly some vastly different looks. I mean, like look at the jawline and the chin and stuff there. You're picking some different options here. You are changing the character's face to be more to your liking, but then you've seen a little edit details button over here. And you're wondering where that takes you. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at look at this. They just hide in all these options here. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Let me just say that you get to actually change quite a bit. Fullness of the cheeks. Let's make them a little gaunt. Yeah. We get a lot of exercise. We're a skinny dude. Look at this. Cheekbone position. Have you ever seen a cheekbone position slider in a game? I haven't. I'm serious. I've never seen this. It's kind of cool. It's an interesting idea. Then you can do forward and back. And this is like, we're still on the damn cheekbones. Like, this is just cheekbones. We're customizing the cheekbones. Chin, up and down. I will say straight up, I love the fact that they're not holding back with it. You know, it's like, that's a pretty big difference, you know, between the one and the other. Forward and back, slightly less of a difference, but still pretty significant if you combine it with the others. The width, massive. Pretty massive. Thickness. Look at that, dude. Insta jowls. Like, I mean, this is kind of crazy, actually. Look at that. It's a lot. I love it. What? That was... Yeah, that was thickness. Okay. Lower jaw. Yeah, you can get that underbite. The shape, I think that's something we should look at from the front. Yeah, you can get a little butt chin. A sharper one. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Then we're on the chin position. Once again, something I feel like I did not expect to ever see. It's crazy, right? I actually kind of like this, giving it more definition. It's like you revealing your skeletal structure for the world to see. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing to actually mess with, but like, I just messed with it. So, protrusion. That's the entire chin's protrusion at the back there. It's the jaw, right? It's more of the jaw. That's so like, it's all mixed together. Oh my god, there are jowls options. Okay, this is the forehead depth. Not too extreme. Not too extreme. And if anyone's wondering why I'm like not like pulling them to the extreme and leaving them there, it's again just because, you know, if you not so much mess things up, but if you mix things up too much, then you might not be able to see the options that you change in later on. So we try to keep things sort of semi-normal looking. This is the jowl position. Wow. That is significant. I mean, we way past Brad Pitt here. This is leaving David Coulthard in the dust. This is kind of crazy. My god. Look at that. Jeez, man. This guy had a pretty serious encounter with the wall in his childhood. Okay, forward and back. I'd love to come back here and sort of mess around with it a little bit. And I'm going to. I'm going to, definitely. 100% I'll come back here. So that's a lot of options. That's a lot. And again, if you like pull all of them to like one of the sides, you know it's gonna look kind of crazy, yeah? You know it. Okay, so that's the face shape. Now we moved on to the eye shape. Once again, pretty subtle to start with. But then you click on the details and you can change a lot of it. This looks weird. That just actually just looks a little weird. I cannot wait to make my own character. This is so cool. Yeah, this is actually like a customization option or customization style that I never knew I wanted. Now that I've seen it for the first time, I'm actually kind of into it. Okay, so we're doing the forward and back of the eyes here. The tilt. Funny how that can change the mood of the character and the feel of the character. It's like he loses all confidence when they turn down like that. Which is weird because it shouldn't, right? And he loses all trust when they turn up like that. How crazy is that? You know? I wouldn't trust this guy. And I wouldn't trust this guy. Both for various reasons. Different reasons. Okay, eyelids. These are the thickness of the eyelids. Kind of nice. Kind of nice. And if anyone's wondering, we're going to be having a look at all of these options on female again. I actually like this option here, where you can make sort of like the bug eyes. I think it can be attractive if you do it right. Okay, right eye, size. Oh no, dude. Oh no. It just tabbed me out. Hold on. Right eye, size. Left eye, size. This will give me a headache. This will actually give me a headache. Oh my goodness. Position. What? That's crazy. Okay. And then forward, back as well. Okay, okay, okay. So it's like, you know, you got options for each eye. That's kind of sick. Wow. So these options are obviously like moving both of them. If I like do the size 20 on there, yeah, you can see these bottom ones come up, but you can do them individually. So that's kind of nice. Huh. Also not something I've ever seen before. Isn't that cool? These guys are doing new stuff. I mean, I didn't expect to see anything new in this game. I knew it would have something cool, but like, this is kind of crazy. Okay, so irises and pupils. Let's have a look what we got here. You know, I actually want to make the size a bit bigger here, and then I just want to change the color to be a little brighter so we can sort of see what's going on. Let's take that one. That's beautiful. Wow. Okay. I really like these eyes in video games. Oh. But like, for some reason I never end up picking them. I wonder if we're going to get some like proper customization option. Dude, look how bright they are. What are these celestial eyes? Let's take the basic one and see what our options are for customization. So, smaller, bigger, colors, and that's it. Okay, okay, so nothing much more. I did honestly not expect much more. And if I'm gonna like go ahead and guess, my thinking is that you might get more options. Not so much in the game, but like maybe in the store or like some other nonsense. I don't know if the game has a store really. All I know is that when games offer like cosmetic stuff with deluxe purchases, then you know that there's always an option at some point, a possibility that they'll add stuff. Okay, eyebrows. No eyebrows is obviously a choice that you can make. By the way, some of the options here to me end up being a little hard. Like I sometimes don't see it. It's like when you look at these menus here, the eye shapes, as an example, I think I missed these. As just as an example, I think I forgot to move over to this side, and it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, the eye shape is something that you have full control over, right? So if you go into the customization options, you have full control. But like I keep missing the fact that there's a slider down there. I don't know if it's just me that misses these things, but like it's a very, to me it seems like a very easy thing to miss. And I'm not sure if there's like really a better way of doing it. I want to say, I think that having an arrow here on this side makes it more visible. Okay, what the heck is that? What am I looking at right now? That's just two little dots on his forehead. Why? Why? Oh my God. This is fantastic. Look how many options there are. Oh. Yeah, man. You're gonna have enough options to make some pretty fantastical stuff here. I'm just saying. I love it. And details? Let's see what we got here. Whoa! Okay. Alright. Yeah, man. Yeah, like, this is cool. This is cool. This is cool. You're actually changing the brows now. Not just the eyebrows themselves. You're changing, like, the entire brow of your character. You can even change the fullness. Huh. The density? Wow. Okay. The up-down, let's see. Oh, that's also kind of crazy. You got, like, determination and then concern. Just like that. One slide away. This is... wow. Because that's the inner ends, the middle, and this is the outer ends. Yeah, and then you can do them separately, right and left. Okay. And that's sick, because you can make the people's eyebrow with this. I know that, because now it's another menu within the menu. Look. You can, like, sort of... yeah, look. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's too much. Like for real, it's too much. There's too much going on here. And like if you're feeling overburdened with choice, just pick these ones and you're good to go. Like that's a solid choice. No one will say anything about your eyebrows if you pick those. Yeah. Okay, nose. This looks like a bunch of photos. What? Crazy, it actually looks very detailed. Yeah. So, nothing too crazy here, nothing too, like, out there, nothing too outrageous in terms of size and or shape. But we get to edit the details, so let's see if we can make it outrageous. Okay, this is forward, back. Tallness. Yeah, lots of options there. Breadth. Wow. Why don't they offer these as defaults? Hook. Let's get the hook in there. Now, let's do this. Direction. Down or up, what? Yeah, down or up. Fullness again. That's of the bridge. Nostrils. Yeah. I mean, like, that's a pretty significant nose. Huh. And if you obviously come back here, if you go back to the nose options, you just pick one here, then it overrides it. Jeez. Impressive. Mouth. Same situation, I guess, where you're going to be able to find something here, but it is once again just the kind of thing that you can sort of customize on your own. Let's go details and see. Yeah, once again, so like you have the details here, you have the options here, you have the choices here, but they don't show them to you all out. You know, there's a lot of different stuff you can actually do. This is so sick. Yeah. This little slider that they made, it's not their own invention. I've seen this before in many character creators, but the way they're using it here is most definitely something that I've not seen before. It's unique. And like, look at that. You can make it like a gentle smirk on the one side. Isn't that sick? Huh. The more I see of this, the more I'm thinking this might actually be one of the best character creators I've seen in a long time. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Don't take it away. I want to keep what I made. No, what happened? Did I just pick one of theirs? Take the default one back and put that little smirk on. I just love it. Put it on the left. Look at that. It's so cool. Okay, ears. Oh no, we can edit the ear details. Okay. They are so loosely moved. What? Wow. Okay. Tilt. Oh man. Oh man. I'm gonna have fun with this. Size. Sharpness. Oh, dude. What the heck? Look at that. Yeah. I'm like a fairy dragon. Look at my wings. Flap, flap. Alright. Let's remove those post-haste. Good lord. Skin. Funny. Personally, I feel like the skin should come right before or right after the face. So it's a little weird to me that we had to come this far to find the skin options, because it's a very impactful choice. However, obviously you get to, with your face itself, choose the color of the skin by picking one of those templates. Again, though, this is one of those options I feel should be earlier. What you pick in here is your skin, and you also pick in the wrinkles combined. It's like a combo choice here. But you can pick the one you want, then you can also still customize the color over here, and then the wrinkles separately. So the way the skin color works is they give you a bunch of shades here. You can see the shades numbers up there, actually. And again, pretty dark. I mentioned this already earlier on, but I didn't show you the full extent of the darkness. Then you can actually make your own ones over here by selecting one of these and picking anything. And from my tests, it does seem like you can get sort of a greenish tinge to it. It's like a look. If you pick one of these, you get like a gray green, right? You can obviously get, if you swipe it around, a little bit of warmer colors, but it does seem like they offer you that this like sort of greeny tone to it. I don't know. It might also just be the fact that we're in a jungle here, customizing our character. The sun is filtering through the green leaves and it's giving us a certain visual style. I don't know, but you get to pick your color here. And you get to go pretty dark with it, which I personally think is awesome. Some of the options that you can sort of tinker with in the makeup section look so good on the darker skin. Like some of the tattoos and face paints and makeup and stuff like that. It is awesome. You'll see when we get there. You'll see. So, wrinkles. Again, I'm keeping things kind of basic and default-ish, just so we can see everything. That's those, and then these. It's the crow's feet, and then the smile lines. Make the character look a little older if you'd like. Or pull it all the way down and make it look a little younger. That's it. We are done with the face. Crazy, right? Now we're going to move on to hair. And I can straight up say here that this is one of the cooler hair systems that I've seen in a game thus far. It's something that's not brand new. They've got a modular system where you get to pick a full style here, and there are lots of styles. Like, brace yourself here. There are some really fantastic looking styles, right? And then you can customize it like almost completely all by yourself by adding and removing different pieces on different parts. Then also, and this is something I've not seen before, you can change the length and the curl of the hair. I've never seen a curl slider. Let's have a look at it. First, we're going to look at the presets, though. These are presets in that they have special colors. They have different combinations, as I mentioned, of these like sliders and modular parts. And you'll notice that the hair physics are quite nice as well. Different highlights. I will say, by the way, that I feel like the menu is very janky, but we work with what we've got. I'll show you in just a moment what I mean by like the length sliders and the curliness and stuff, and I'll show you how it sort of fits in here, because it fits in quite nicely. Cool styles. Yeah, I like to think so. Decent looking braids. Sometimes that's like one of those things that people mess up. Long hair is also sometimes kind of messy in games. So in terms of like the hair texture and whatnot, it's all right. I'm trying to slide out without selecting the hair. It's so difficult. I'm just like, how do I just want to look at this and then turn the character. But apparently I can't turn the character. Anyway, you get the idea of this one. If I select this, then I go back, then I can turn it. There, and go back. That's cool. That's long hair, wow. So yeah, I've been struggling a little bit with the menu. It's also a little laggy here. Even if the game performs well, the menu is kind of laggy. And then those are the presets, but let me show you what you can actually do with it. So hairstyle. Now you get to pick your style alone. It keeps the color that you've got, and you get to pick just a default style. There are more here than there were in the presets. So brace. I'm not going to be spinning the head all the way around on every one of them, and that's because this character creator kind of sucks. Like, in that sense, it kind of sucks. I can't believe I'm saying that about this character creator, but like, I have to go back, and then it's still... There you go. I struggle with it, okay? I struggle. It might just be me that struggles with it. I might be doing something wrong. User error and all that. Okay, let's put this one, then we'll slide over to this side. There we go. Short hair. Yeah, they didn't forget about you, short hair. Nice looking short hair, by the way. And on each of these, well, not on each of these, but on a lot of these, you can change, like, for instance, on the short hair, you don't get to change the length. But on each of these, there's the potential for changing the length of certain parts of it and changing the curliness. Check it out. That is an option I never knew I wanted. Look what it does. So look at what it does to the texture. That's really cool, right? You can add that waviness to your hair. And you can do it to most of the styles. Like, it's kind of sick. Yeah, you'd think that this would be something that would be, like, super easy to put into games, but I don't think it's all that easy, man. Like, it's very impressive that you can do that. cool. I'm trying to... Here we go. There's a lot of hairstyles. These are the same on male and female. That's kind of nice. Let's see what this one's got at the back. Nothing. Now, again, you got like the length options, the curl options on most of them. You'll see when I hover over it, you can sort of see exactly what you can do with it. I'm struggling to keep track of where I've been. Here we go. It's very singular style. Oh, that's kind of sick. Wow. All the hair's length. Look. And can you make it curlier? There you go. So yeah, there's a bunch of really good hair. And, you know, I thought that maybe I would have gotten to the point where I was like, hey, yeah, this is the best part of the character creator. Back on the face stuff. But no, truly not. I think that the hair might actually be one of the best parts of this character creator. And I want to just point out to you that I had actually not looked at most of this stuff. I peeked at it. I saw that they had length and curl settings. I was like, wow, cool. I'm keen for that. But this is all like first impressions that you get in right here. I did not go through all of this beforehand. I had no preformed opinion. Now, however, wow, look at this. It's so nice. I really like how they do the long loose hair. I think it's incredibly cool on this. It actually, funny enough, it reminds me of Monster Hunter a little bit. They are not doing the, like, the texture quite as well as Hogwarts Legacy, which we just had a look at very recently. But unfortunately for most games, I don't think any game is going to come close to that for quite some time. I'm just saying, I think that in Hogwarts Legacy, specifically the visual style that they went for on some of the hairs, it's like, it's unmatched. And that's a good thing, by the way, because it gives people time to sort of, you know, process that and maybe match it with their own character creators. Anyway, colors. So we're going to pick, let's take one that's slightly different. Let's take a longer one like this. Then we're going to go to the colors and we're going to have a look at what's available. First things first, your main color. You can pick the presets, or you have full RGB. And it is full RGB. Like, no holds barred. You can just do anything you like. You can go for red. And that's cool, you know. You can take that. Then, you can mix the colors. You can go for a white with the red. You can do that too. You can go for a black. You can do anything. Then, there's a highlight as well. And I cannot actually, for the life of me, understand how they can have so many options in here. Because, like, look at that. That's that one little strand over there. Let's make it black. And then the highlight itself has its own highlight. What? I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Then some of them have accessory colors. It would be a little ridiculous if I had to go through all of them and show you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that the accessory can also just go on any of the preset colors that you've saved here. And, you know, it can be whatever you want it to be. So if we pick that color there, we pick this one, it's kind of cool. Now you've got the highlights in the hair. You've got the highlights of the highlights, and you got the accessory color. And if I just pop through a few of them here, you'll see how each of them has their own little, let's just say, fields that they cover. And that's kind of sick. It is crazy to me how much you could potentially do with this. And I'm not going to say it's on the level of something like, let's say, Street Fighter, because I think that your overall customization might be a little less. But in terms of this kind of game, I'm starting to get the feeling that we are looking at something that's unmatched here. So as you can see, there are a few different options. And a lot of the stuff that you can set up here, a lot of the stuff that you can change here, it all has an effect. Let's take that one. Then, if all of this wasn't enough, I'm going to take one of these quickly, set it back to normal. You can also do the modular thing. So you've got a style, that's the one we've got on right now, and you can add and remove bits and pieces. Look at that. Look at that. We're doing the front, so there's like a ton of different options on the front. And what's sick about this is that you can do this on most of the styles. You take in a style, this like trendy side shaved top knot kind of thing, and you're making it your own. You can make it look more feminine. You can make it look more masculine. You can make it look crazier. You can make it cover your entire face, because why not? And then on top of that, if that was somehow not enough, you can still increase or decrease the length and make it curly. It's madness to me. Like the sheer amount that you can change, that you can customize. And like they don't hold back on this. Look how many there are. These are all just for the front of the head, by the way. All just for the front. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's awesome. Then, if that wasn't enough, you can move on to the top of the head. Now, only some of the styles have the top of the head available as an option. I'm going to look quickly if I can find one with it. I have got to be honest with you, I did not... There we go. Top of the head. Prepare anything for this. And... Oh man, that is amazing. That's actually one of the default styles in Monster Hunter World. I know it because I very recently looked at that. Look at the physics as well. And I was gonna say that I have no doubt that it's gonna give us a lot of cool options. So, who would have thought that this hairstyle, the one that I just picked here, would have this thing? Would have so many different... Oh, it wasn't this one. It was even shorter, right? Would have so many different styles to choose from. This thing. This little style here. You take in like an old shaved head. And what's crazy to me is most people would just overlook that completely, right? You would just overlook it. You'd be like, oh, I'm not going to take that one. And then you wouldn't get to see all these styles here. Look at this. Madness. Absolute madness. Okay. Let's have a look at... I'll just pick like one of the default ones again. And we can do back of the head. These are the ponytails. Or any other such nonsense, you know, it could be a full head thing, as you can tell. But it's mostly the ponytails. And you can mix and match, huh? You can mix and match these things as well. Kinda cool. Kinda cool. Then there's a double braid. I think that will just be available on the braided styles. Let's have a look. Is this one? Hold on. Here we go. Ah, it's okay. Yeah, with the braids on the sides. All right. So when they have the two hanging on the sides, you can pick the and choose the type that you want on them. Kind of cool. It sort of cuts it off right there, and you can sort of pick what you want below that point. Yeah. Single braid, I mean, that one explains itself. That will be on the side one at the front. Can I find one quickly? We had this long style that went around the front side. I'm trying to see where... This one. There it is. Yeah. There you go. Huh. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. And then, hair pieces. I don't actually even know where that's going to go. Let's go back to the start and see what we can find. There we go. This one. Right. So, that's kind of nice. What you're doing is you add in extra little bits and pieces that you can even change the length of and the curl of to your hairstyle. You're basically making it a little unkempt, right? Little unkempt. It's fantastic. That's really nice. Then we can look at the nape and the hairline. These options, like, again, I want to say they're sort of like hidden where that's concerned, but the hairline... I mean, that must be only on things like these, right? No, not actually seeing it here. Let's see where we find it. We will. There's the nape. Yeah, okay. So it's basically just you pick in how much you want at the back hanging down, and Nate being over here. It's cool. It's cool. I'm curious about the hairline. There we go. This one. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what we're working with here. Interesting. Interesting. So you get to actually take the stubble off. Cool. So just keep in mind you can do that to all the different hairstyles here. Now, with that said and done, I come to the end of the hair customization. Isn't that madness? It's actually insane. There's just so much here. Now, next up we have the beard. I don't know if I'm happy to report that there's far less going on here than with the hair, but there is still a significant amount, and they have a decent, like, selection. I'm going to say it right here, even though this is not sort of where you'd expect it, but you can put the beards on the ladies. Yes, that's a win. That's a win for equality. I'm just saying. I always like it. You know, if you want to do something funny like that, if you want to do something cool like that, if you want to do anything you want, they should give you the option. So those are the presets. Let's pick a sort of more basic one like this one, and then let's look at the color. Once again, full RGB. You can match it with your hair if you want. The presets here are sort of more, you know, normal-ish, some of them at least, but you can match it with your hair. Then you can even make the tips something else. Your beard can have highlights, and then you can have highlights on your highlights, and then you can change your accessory color. Oh no, dude, it's so much. Like, look at this. There's the accessory. It's so much. Like, this is just, it's madness. It's madness. Look at that. Look at that. Look. Just look at it. What the heck? And I mean, you can change all of these to like fully random colors. You can go 100% clown mode with this. No one cares. No one cares. Huh? Check it out. Mustache. I want to say it's the same thing, but let's pick this one quickly, then let's go to the mustache and look. Okay, custom mustache. It's not tied to the beard. I like the fuller one. And then on some of them, as you can see, you can change the length. Not a huge change, but it's kind of nice. And then you can make it curl a little bit. This barely changes anything. Okay, then the beard customization. This is the bottom part of the beard where you get to actually just change, like, let's say the amount of hair that you want, and then you can also make it curly. It's more impactful on the longer ones, I guess. No, not so much. Well, the longer ones. Very, very slight change there on the beard. Crazy. There you go. That's your options for beard. Now, makeup. So, here, you are looking at something, once again, pretty comprehensive. You have, first things first, your general and standard and traditional makeup. Then you have mark-ins, which would be the tattoos. So let's look at this normal stuff first. The eyeliner here. It's kind of subtle, but you can see the difference. And you will notice that we had some on already. Very, very subtle, but it was there. I like it. I think it's kind of nice. And then they have some fancier looking ones here too. But it is still eyeliner. That's sick. Okay. Let's pick this one. And then you get to change the color. Any color under the rainbow once again. From your pre-selected colors, obviously. I'll show you here. Full RGB. We shall leave it on the black. And then you get to do the shade, which is basically just the opacity of it. Eyeshadow. Once again, more makeup. That's kind of cool. Looks fierce. Yeah, looks fierce. Oh, man, rainbow. That's nice. So you can't change the color on the rainbow ones? Am I seeing... Yeah, it's like rainbow with stars. Like proper galaxy eyes. Look at that. Very nice. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in further. Okay. Eyelashes. And I mean, needless to say, you get to change the color on these as well. The ones that you can change the color on, you can sort of pick again any color you want. Eyelashes. Wait, let's just take the eyeshadow off quickly. Massive amount of lashes. These ones, you got to make them longer for them to look sort of like something, and you got to color them as well. Like you can see in the picture, they got black and white there. Here we got black and yellow. Looks cool, you know? It looks nice when you actually throw a color on there. There you go. And you get to change the length, as you can see. Switch it back. Let's pull the length down again. Don't need too much going on there. Blush. So we have two separate presets here to choose from. Let's have a look what we've got. They're both pretty sort of minimalistic, but the one goes up a little further than the other one, as you can see. And then you can still change the shade, and you can change the position itself entirely. So it's like a slightly bigger one that you can move around, and a slightly smaller one you can move around. The size, I'm guessing, yeah, you can basically just cover your whole face. So if you wanted to, you could actually come in here, pick a white, and you could make your face completely pale. And I mean, let me just say, if you had to throw some like interesting eyeshadow on there or something, and if you had to mess around with the different eyeliners and whatever, you could make some funny looking stuff here. But again, I would say use this with caution, because if you're like me, you're probably going to mess it up. Lipstick. Decent choices. You get to change the opacity once again, and you get to change the color completely. Full RGB. There it is. Looks good. Then, face markings. Brace yourselves, there's a lot here. First things first, I'm just going to put a color on here to show you how it works. You get to pick full RGB, as always. Then, on each of them, and this is what I want to show you before we go through all of them, you get to change the position, okay? And with that, like, I mean, you can put it anywhere on the damn face, okay? Anywhere on the face. I feel like it's going to be a system that might be a little hard to police, but we'll see. Then you get to change the size, which is once again just like... it's everywhere. It's everything. It's going to be hard to sort of... because you're stretching it. Like, if you go this way, you're stretching it completely over. And what's kind of nice about this is you can be creative. Have a look at this. See? Just like that. I'm being creative. I can take the opacity down a little bit if I want to. And it ends up looking to me like, you know, a planned and properly thought out look. You know, and now I want to point it out, like I said, that you can do that with any of them, right? Now, the options that I chose here are unfortunately locked in, but you get the idea. With any of these, you can do a similar thing. You can change it completely. You can mix it up the way you'd like. And there are a lot of different options. There's scars. I thought that the scars looked alright. I had nothing against the style. I thought that they were decent. And they look different on different skin colors, obviously. I've seen better, but I've definitely seen worse. Let me say that about the scars. Then they have some interesting patterns here that could be almost anything. These are like, you know, it's kind of difficult to explain, but like they're different effects on your skin. Like this could be burned in like a brand. This could have been like an impact of some sort. You know, the top one at the top there could have been like lightning or whatever. It's up to you. You got to make what you want. You're the one who's customizing this character. You're the one who's setting up this unique style for yourself. And then you have these ones over here that you can't change the colors of quite as much. You'll see that the colors are obviously set up almost completely, but you know, only some of them you can change. So like on this one, for instance, you'll have... how do I get to it? Wait, wrong button. On this one, for instance, where is it? On this one, you'll be able to pick the color, but it's obviously keeping some of what it had before. So if you pick the white, then it looks like it's supposed to look. But if you throw yellow in there, you know, you're losing out on a lot of the other options for the colors. These ones, preset colors, you can't change them. Interesting stuff here, lots of flowers, but still lots of cool designs. Again, keep in mind that you're looking at this picture here, and this will give you a good look at what the color should be. Then there are full face tattoos, or markings at least, and you can move these around. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller. It sort of messes up the overall style and look of it, but yeah, you can still move it around. In other words, if you take one of these and you stretch it out or whatever, then it will look kind of messed up. I like this one a lot, by the way. This one's kind of sick. And those are just freckles. The freckles are hidden all the way at the end. Crazy. So yeah, like for real, insane amount of options here. Super, super cool. They give you so much freedom, right? And I'm showing you face markings 1. Okay? If you want to, you just keep going. You just keep going. Look. You just keep going. You just keep throwing stuff on your character until it looks the way you want it to look. And for real, there's really no answer that could be considered wrong where this is concerned. You are doing you. You're making the character you want. So keep combining the stuff that you want to combine. Throw some stuff together. Experiment with it, because there's a good chance you'll come up with something cool and unique. I'm taking it off for the purposes of the rest of this video quickly, so we can actually see our dude's face a little bit. It's good. It's good. This is a great like tattoo and marking system. Then we're moving on to the body. Finally. My god. Here we have the height. Okay, so the full body changes. These, as I mentioned a few times earlier in the video, are, in my opinion, not quite as great. There are some decent options here, and you can still sort of do some stuff that could differentiate you from other players. And there are some important options here. I'll tell you what they are in just a moment. You'll see it like literally in 3 options time. But again, I feel like these are limited because of the vast like amount of armor and outfit options you have in the game. Because if they had allowed you to go like full crazy with this, then they would have had to have redone the armor a bunch of different times to have it in a different size. It wouldn't look good on your character, basically. Fullness, this is how chunky your character is. You can make yourself basically look bigger and more muscular with it, or just bigger and slightly more bloated. Musculature, well, that explains itself. It can be sort of ripped or not. We're actually going to get to the clothing at the end as well. You'll be able to pick what you start with. Bust size, that's the important one. Bust and buttocks, you get to change the posterior dimensions of your character. The bust, it's the pectorals on the male. Good option to have, but the buttocks, essential. Absolutely essential. If you don't slide this all the way to the max, I don't know what you're doing, man. I don't know why you're even here. Then you get to change something very interesting to me. It's stride length. I assume this changes the way your character walks. I've not really tested it yet, but you can see it changes the position of the legs slightly. Interesting. Had never seen that before. Then, chest markings. Yeah, there's more. I realize that's not the chest. That's more like the stomach. But they call it the chest markings because you get to take the same ones here and you get to move them around. So if I take, for instance, the big scars here, then I can go details and I can change the position and I can put it on the chest if I'd like. So there you go. It's under my undergarments. I can put it down here if I'd like. I can do whatever. Change the size, change the rotation, change whatever I wish. Super huge amount of options. And you get to do that on your chest with all these ones that we saw, right? You will notice that there will be some new ones here, and I'm going to go through them now. I just want to finish talking about these. Then you get to do back, left arm, right leg, left leg. It's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot. So we're going to go look at them quickly. These ones are the same as before. I'll still go through them very briefly, so you can see. They don't look any different here on the body than they would have on the face. But, you know. We've got that one selected. It's worth still just having a peek. The scars could potentially have looked different, so it's totally worth checking them out. I don't know, I personally like what they've done with a lot of these options. I think that they have a decent style, and it's not some of this like low quality nonsense that you see sometimes, because sometimes you do see low quality stuff, and I don't know why. It's like sometimes they basically just have it as an afterthought, and to me there comes a point where you think to yourself, why bother? Why did these guys bother? Well, shit, because it's a fantastic system. Once again, it's sort of a case of them sort of trailblazing with the character creation. While this isn't really like completely different from what we've seen before, they are offering you a lot in terms of the options. Like a lot. A huge amount. And I think that's sick. Don't hold back with stuff like this. Giving people a lot of options to customize their characters, giving people a lot of choices where things like this are concerned, would just make them feel more at home and happier and more comfortable playing your game. So yeah, there's a bunch of really cool options here. You can, and I didn't go into it now, but you can still change the colors and all the details on all of them. Back markings, these are the same as the chest ones we just looked at, as you can see. And you can also, once again, just move them around, position them as you will. The arm ones, I get the feeling they might be a little different. Let's have a peek. No, they're exactly the same. And the way they're positioned is kind of hard to see right here. I'm actually going to skip quickly to the end so I can show you. And I'm going to pick just that as the undergarment, so I can show you just where the markings are. Basically, they default them as going around your arm, as that kind of tattoo, like on your bicep there and your like lower shoulder. But you can move them around any which way. If you're gonna put like scars and stuff on, you can still just edit the details over here, and boom, boom, boom. Rotation, the opacity, the size. You know, you can do whatever. You can even make it like massive. Doesn't look super grotesque or gross or anything like that, but you can do whatever you want. You can fully tattoo your body any which way. Again, same options on this one. Left and right leg, it explains itself. I want to say it explains itself, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you anyway. It's kind of sad that you have to do this every time, but it's whatever. This will be on the back. But if you just pop one on there and you move it around, the position options will give you full control over where you want it. Kind of cool. And it takes it around, by the way. So like if you go around, you can go around the leg. It's nice. And then right leg. So, in terms of the body customization, insane. Just insane. Straight up insane. There's a lot of cool stuff, and if you combine them, if you mix and match them, you can probably do something pretty spectacular. Our final tab, which you just got a brief look at, is the Details tab. Here you get to pick your 3 undergarment choices. These are, as far as I understand, the only 3, but you obviously have a huge amount of options in the game for armor and customization there. I'm not super impressed by this specifically, because, like, you know, they could have given you some match-in choices. Like, the pants here don't really suit the bandage around the waist, around the chest, sorry. And this one, I mean, I find this kind of weird. I was looking at it and thinking, like, what is that material that they're using? It's not exactly lace. It's definitely not chainmail, but it's something. It's definitely something. So maybe it's safest to stick to this one. I personally will be choosing this one just because. But there you go. Those are the choices. Voice. Now, your voice options, you have 10 male, 10 female. Different accents, different styles, different everything. I'm going to go through all of them, all 20, right now, and give you a quick listen to them. I'm also going to shut up while I do it so that you can turn the volume up if you'd like. So let's get started.
Ready to go.
You never know.
My defeat.
That was great.
Too slow.
All back in shape. You never know.
My defeat.
Completed.
It's over. Everything's in place. Prepared for the worst.
All in place.
Not so fast.
You never know. That was good. Construction complete. Just in case. That was good. I know just the thing.
Farewell.
Not so tough now, huh?
This.
Old box stuff. I know just the thing.
Everything's in place.
All right, that's better. Everything's in place. Not so tough now, huh? Everything's in place.
Farewell.
All in place. Just in case. Just what I needed. Let's use this.
It's over.
How you like this?
Just in case.
All fixed up. Get a load of this. Tiffy, you never know.
Too slow. There, fixed. Too slow.
That was good. All in place. Let's use this. I saw that. All in place.
It's back in action.
Here goes. Not so fast. Back in shape.
Let's do this. Work complete.
Get a load of this. Not so fast. Let's do this. Back in shape.
That was good.
You won't like this. Fired up.
It's over.
Get a load of this. This'll do.
See how you like this? There. Finished. Let's use this. There. Fixed.
That last one's my favorite. So actually I counted wrong. It's 11 and 9. There are 9 male voices, 11 female ones, but close enough. I think that there's a decent selection here. Some of them sound sort of like kind of corny in a way. They like stereotypical. They hammed on the accent a little bit. It's good. It's good. It's what you want from this. Like you can sort of craft your character and then you can pick the closest voice that you'd like to match it. There's good choices. It's fine. It's fine. And this is like Monster Hunter where your character is going to be silent for the most part. You'll have a grunt or two out of your character, a nod of agreement, that kind of thing. You are a silent protagonist. Most of the time. Most of the time. There will obviously be emotes and stuff that you can use, and then those will obviously have certain voices attached to them, but whatever. Then you get to pick your personality. This is the way your character idles. It's sort of the mood that you give off. Not a fantastic selection here, but I think that you should be able to get something that you like. Yeah? You got some more prissy ones, some more serious ones, some more determined ones, some more standard ones. It's all good. Then your final option is the equipment. You get to choose right here at the start, and this is something you can do in-game, so it's not really a final choice. You can show or hide the headgear, and you can show or hide the collar. Very cool. Very, very cool. Now, I'm going to say at the end of the male customization here that there is no randomize, which is always a disappointment to me, but I'm going to be real and I'm going to say that I think it might have been too difficult. I think that had they added a randomize option to this, it would have probably broken the universe as we know it. There's just so much going on here that randomizing it would have been tough. So what I'm going to do is at the end of the video, I'm going to add a couple of extra bits and pieces that you can check out. Use the timestamps to jump to that. Some of the characters are made for the thumbnails, most likely. And you can check those out to see some of what you can actually do. You can basically check those out to see the character creation system stretch its legs a little bit. For the purposes of this preview of what Mail has to offer, I like to keep things more standard so that you can see the options as they would be seen on a regular character. But again, if you want to see that slightly more out there look at how things are done, then check the end of the video, because that'll be where you'll find it. With that said and done, though, we are going to be jumping back all the way out here to look at female. As I've mentioned a few times, you can pick your preset here to give you a good starting point. On female, I think we're just going to go with the default one over here. I went with this male one, it worked fine. We're going to go with this one for the female. But you can pick any of them. They sort of just give you a face, hairstyle, a certain look to work with. And you can just take it from there and do the customization you want to do. It doesn't really matter. You know, you can still do all the customization on the one that you could do on the other. But I think that the female customization is obviously just going to be impressive. It's going to be as good as the male one. Man, the male one was a good time. I really like what I've seen in the character creator thus far. It's been fantastic. So, I mentioned this all on the male side, but we're going to cover it one more time for female, because obviously not everyone will watch the entirety of the male side and the entirety of the female side, and it's pretty quick to go through it all anyway. But you can pick presets in the previous menu, as you saw, and then here you can pick a facial preset. And the way this worked on the male side of things was that you got a face, you got sort of a skin and a texture on the skin, you got a skin color, and then you also got like a certain beard or just like facial hair setup and everything else except obviously the hair and the facial markings, which is stuff like tattoos. So it's again just another set of templates that you can scroll through, that you can look through, and that you can pick from. And I think that that's a pretty awesome system, because what you can do then is that you can pick the template or preset you want from the previous menu. Then you can come in here and you can mix and match the faces and perhaps pick one that you like more, and then you can modify that one that you've modified even more. So it's like it's actually a very weird way of going about it, preset after preset after preset. But honestly, I think that it gives you a lot of choice without overburdening you. In other words, you have options and possibilities, but you are not overwhelmed by them. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great thing. And again, there are some decent options here. You have some faces that look slightly bigger, some that look slightly smaller, some that look slightly older, some younger, different ethnicities, and so on and so forth. I'm going to take this one right here, actually, because I like the big eyes. When we get to the eye stuff, you'll see why. There's a lot of cool options. And then if you have more real estate to work with, that's kind of sick. So once you've done this, once you've picked this, and as you can see, this comes with the skin color. So like if you take a darker one, you get a darker skin color here. I mentioned on the male side of things that I do think the one change I would make on this system is that I'd put the skin option closer to the top, just so that you can pick the skin color early on, but it doesn't really matter. You can sort of jump between them if you'd like. Next up is the face shape. You will notice that it's mostly the bottom of the face. It's like basically your jaw, your cheeks, a little bit of the facial structure at the bottom. You get to pick a preset here, but you also have the option to edit the details, and this is where things get really spicy. When they bring the sliders in, you know it's going to be good. And they've got a system for sliders here that is actually unlike anything I've seen before, which is not entirely true, but it's mostly true. They use it in ways that I've not seen before, I should say. But basically, we'll get to that in a moment. Basically, they allow you a whole lot of flexibility with what you want to do with your face. And you can look at it from the side. Here's the fullness. That's the fullness of the cheeks, as you can tell. Big difference there. Then there's another fullness one. I'm not sure why we have cheeks, then fullness, then cheek fullness. I think it might just be a translation thing. But, you know, I can tell you what the difference is. This one here is like the back section and around the top, and this one will be the bottom and around the front. It's just sort of the two together. They work in different ways, so you want them separate. But this is what I really like, what they've got in this character creator. And they've got it in various different places, but they've got this kind of slider that allows you to customize things even further. I'm struggling a little bit to see because of the brightness of the skin. I'm just going to actually change it down to a slightly less intense color, so we can actually see what's going on. Let's take this one. There you go. Sorry, it's just, you know, you want to see the curvature. You don't want to have to struggle to spot it. She was reflecting the light a little bit, which I like, by the way, but yeah, it doesn't help us here. So you can see that you drag it all the way to this side, you've got much higher cheekbones. They're sharper, more angular. You bring it down this way, it pulls that entire thing down, and it sort of it acts in the way that you'd expect it to act when you pull it down. You pull it over to this side, it flattens them out. Pull it over that side, it pushes them back in. And you can sort of mix and match with this. And again, this is actually just the cheekbone position that you're moving around here. Then you can also obviously do this, move them forward and back. You can see it's moving the upper cheekbones there. And we're going to get down to the other parts soon as well. Here's the chin. Big differences here. So on the male side, what I did was I basically showed it off and then I dragged back. And I'm going to do the same thing here. And I think that the main reason for that, once again, is just because I'd like to, for the most part, give you a look at how much the options change. And you can't really get a feel for how much they change if you change things too drastically. So if her face already looks like hideously malformed, then, you know, a slightly wider chin, it's not really going to do much, and you're not going to really see the change. But this is very cool. It's very impressive how much each slider actually does. Just take that from this, if you're going to take anything. Like, look at that face, and you just pull these down all the way, and you look at that face. Those are two completely different people. It's a different feel for your character entirely. And that's just 3 little sliders here that I'm messing with. So yeah, like needless to say, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this character creator. A lot of fun. Look at that. Look at that one. So if I pull everything up to max, look at that. Crazy. And yes, I'm going to do some science. You will obviously be able to see at the end of this video some of the crazy and cool stuff that I end up making. There's the underbite. That's the shape of the chin. You can get like a little butt or cleft chin, I think they call it. And let's see, chin position. This is kind of weird, the chin position that we move in here, because it's actually like sort of doing the lower jawbone and the like jowls here instead of the chin position. It, again, might just be a translation thing. Chin protrusion. That's the side there. Once again, I guess that is technically part of the chin, right? Then we're on the forehead depth. Kind of intense. They actually went for 20 and it looked fine. Where are we? Jowls. Edit position of the jowls. That's the back of the jawbone, basically. Which, I mean, I guess technically it could be the jowls. Look at that, dude. Yeah. Like a brick wall. Damn. I like it. Okay, and then you can move them forward and back. That's just the bottom back part here. See? I personally like that. The more angular look works for me. And that's a lot of options, right? Look at all that. Look at all these options you can do. And that's, we just on the face shape. Now we're going to move on to the eyes. And it keeps going. One thing that I mentioned a bunch of times already is that I keep forgetting to move this slider. It's like there are a lot of options here. I think specifically on the male side, actually, I forgot to look at the other eye options. I did go back and look at them, but like initially I forgot to look. This is changing the basic eye shape, but it's not just the shape of the eyes. You'll see it's the depth. It's the way that the eyelids look. And it's a way, it's, if you look at like, look at that for instance. It's kind of a weird system where you, you can set up like full bug eye mode if you'd like. Your eyelids can have like the rolls. I don't know what those eyelid rolls are called. I don't know. I feel like I should know these things, but it's kind of nice because it's a very distinctive look that you can put on your character's eyes that a lot of games don't actually allow. You can even make this sort of more seductive. I would call this the lazier looking eye, but it's more seductive, guys. Please, come on. She's being seductive. But no, I stick with the crazy eyes. I'm going with this. Then you can edit the details by, you know, adjusting the sliders. Let's maximize the eye size. And this is one of my favorite things, by the way. I'll show you in just a moment. Down here, we're going to get to the best part. So you can slide them around like this. It's like, it's legitimately just following the little dot around as I move it. And I love it. I think it's awesome. But the best part is coming up now. This is the depth, forward and back. Here's the tilt. It's on the sides. And I love the fact that this changes so much. Once again, the look of your character, the feel of your character. The eyelid thickness. So I think that might be what I was talking about. Let's just see. No. See, that is the thickness on the top, but because I've got the... Is it the up-down? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So because I've got the up-down all the way... When you take it all the way up, then it sort of covers that. If you bring it all the way this way, then you see it. It's kind of weird, right? Again, I don't know what to call that part. If someone's really smart and they know, they can let me know. But this is one of my favorite things. And this might actually be the first time I've ever seen this in a character creator. And I've done a lot of character creating in my time, right? I've done a lot of these. I've done hundreds of these videos. I've yet to see, until this point, I had yet to see a character creator allow you to do sizes and positions on eyes separately. I know. I say that, and I immediately think that's a terrible idea. But, dude, maybe it's not. Maybe it's a fantastic idea, because you can do some seriously creative stuff with this. Yeah, I mean, you can make nightmare fuel, but, like, that's part of the fun. Look! I mean, look! Isn't that great? Yes, it's great. Don't answer. I don't want to hear this. You can even have the one sunken in, and you can have the other one popping out. Like, is that not just what you want? We can set a whole new standard of beauty right here. No, but seriously, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. I've never seen this before, and I love it. You know, I was like gushing over the Harry Potter hair from Hogwarts Legacy, this is equal, if not better. Not the hair, but these options. So let's just bring it back to normal quickly. Let's try bring it back to normal quickly. Dude, it's weird. It's really weird. It messes with my brain. Because it's like you look at it and you think, okay, wait, there's something weird going on here, but I can't quite put my finger on it. What is it? What could it be? Ah, it's the eye. Okay. You know what? Let's move let's move on rapidly and pretend we didn't see nothing. Speaking of eyes, the reason I left it so big was because I wanted to show you the irises. There are some pretty cool designs here. I mentioned that I thought it would be cool if they sort of added more of these as like rewards or as like, you know, games like this should actually embrace the idea of tying stuff like cosmetics to progress. You know, maybe you encounter a new race or a new type of monster out there, or you complete some other weird achievement, or you spend a lot of time underground and in some way, shape or form you discover some new eye type. You know, be it on someone else or be it by changing your character, and then you can maybe customize your character again and you know, add that. Anyway, this is fantastic. Look at all the colors in there. So let's pick one. Let's take that one. That one. There we go. And then let's see what we can do. Size. Kind of cool. Eye color. The way the colors work, and you're going to be seeing a lot of this, is full RGB. You have everything to choose from. Any color that you desire. You can even do the brightness over here, as you can tell. So everything is here. You've got even got the, like, if you want to go and in Photoshop or Paint or whatever get the specific code, you can just find that code here and you can use it. It's awesome. I will mention that you must keep in mind that you have a certain light in here, and that's actually why I made the skin a little bit darker. You have a certain light in here, and that light in, it doesn't always show things off perfectly. It's like you're looking at this yellow here. I can tell you from experience in this game and in other games that there's a good chance when you jump in, your yellow will be a deeper color when you actually look at it in the game. You will have a deeper yellow. It might be a little darker than it looks right now because you won't have this light and bright forest air shining down on it. But again, you have all the colors here, and it's pretty awesome. So let's take something cool. Let's go for pink. All right, there we go. And you can obviously choose the presets here, but like, I mean, I want to say, why would you do that? But sometimes, again, like I mentioned earlier, you don't want to make the choice. You want them to make the choice for you. So you have a bunch of cool ones to choose from there. These other ones here, they react differently to the colors you pick. Kind of cool, you know? But for the most part, it's just really bright. Then, needless to say, you can do left and right eyes, different colors. Also kind of cool. Now, you don't really need a demonstration of that, but I can show you. There you go. It's cool. That's cool. It's a nice system. Now I'm going to take it to this one that it's not so distracting. And then we're going to jump on over to the eyebrows. I always find it a little weird and like jarring when games have sections for their eyebrow customization even more vast than the face customization. And yeah, this is what we're working with here. Let me tell you right now. Let me tell you right now. Sit down. This might take a while. There are a lot of options here. That's why I'm going to click there and I'm going to keep my spot and I'm going to scroll over. Like, I mean like a real lot. Okay. And they look great. These are good looking eyebrows. Now, I can mention also that every one of these can be customized further by going into details. You'll see in just a moment how it's going to work. But every one of these can be customized further. Even the, you know, slightly funnier looking ones. Like this one, that's literally 2 dots on your forehead. I don't know what that is. I'm thinking that might be a mistake, but I don't know. Like, did they accidentally forget to add a proper texture to that? I don't know. Maybe it's real. Maybe that's a thing. You can have teeny weeny ones. You can have the ones with the slashes in them. And let me just say that you can also add a scar that will fit exactly in those 2 slashes if you so desire. The game has that much going for it in terms of customization. Here we get onto the real comical stuff. Personally, I like these. It's making a real statement. And, you know, personally, I like these ones a lot too. I mentioned on the male character creation side, if you're unsure, then I feel like you should just take this one and call it a day, yeah? you know? That's a good choice. A fine choice. Respectable. That's it. We're at the end. I'm going to take this one, and I'll show you what I meant by the scar, hopefully. And then we're going to go into details. You can change the color. You will notice, much like on your hair color choices, you have, yeah, full RGB. You have everything. You can make this any color. For the purposes of showing off the customization, we are going to keep it black for now. Just keep in mind that you can do whatever the hell you want with it. As I was saying, look at this, look at this, look at this. Position. You can actually just move these around, like any which way you want. And what I find crazy and actually kind of cool is that the face doesn't mind. It moves along with it. Like, yeah, man, it moves along with it. Forward and back. It's the depth of the brows. The tilt. Let me show you how that looks. Pretty significant once again. They don't hold back. And this is one of those mood things. It's like you can make yourself look determined, fierce, kind of on the verge of being angry. Then you can just go all the way other way and you can be concerned. You know? You can be sort of unsure. You can be a completely different person by just changing that. Fullness. Natural growth on the eyebrow. You might think, oh wow, it's just stretching it a little bit. Yeah, it's like it's stretching it a little bit, but it actually looks kind of natural. It's nice. You can even set the density, which is actually just the opacity slider. They got smart with their name. It's like this, they could have called this the stretch, and that they could have called the opacity. But it's fine. It works. It works. Up and down. You can see that's the inner ends up and down. This is the middle up and down. And yes, we are working our way towards the outer ends, which allows us to do a people's eyebrow if we want. So you can probably make the rock, and then you can also smell what he's cooking. So middle, as I showed you, outer, and then this is the insane part. You can do the right separate from the left. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You can push the left side out. You have like a bump in your damn... It's like you bent down and knocked your head on the damn table when you were trying to pick that piece of food that fell off up. And then you've got that bump to show for it. But you've got it there permanently for life. It's kind of disturbing. But once again, it can quite nicely play into it. Then, look. Look at this. Look at this. I'm not even joking. Look at that. Is that not insane? Once again, rhetorical question. It's insane. I love it. I love the amount that they're giving you here. Okay, nose. And yes, it just gets better. There's even more here. Decent presets for the noses here. Like, pretty decent. I like the photorealism in the previews here. But decent presets. Lots of different options. We'll take that one. Doesn't really matter. Then details. As you can tell, we have more to customize. And it is once again a case of them not holding back with the amount of stuff you can change. The sliders, they are, well, meaningful. As you can see. You can hook it a little bit or unhook it. Let's hook it. Direction, up or down. Fullness. That's, you're going to notice it from here. It's the bridge. There you go. Then the nostrils. And then you've made yourself a beak. Yeah. Then you've made yourself a beak. Let's take it back. I'm not going to take it back manually. But as you can see, you can do some cool stuff with it. That's the word I just used, guys. I used the word cool. Another one of my favorite parts. Every single part I keep going through here, I think to myself, man, yeah, I like what they've done here. You know, at the end of this year, I'm probably going to do like a character creator best of. And I hate to say it, but this is probably going to be close to the top, if not at the top. It depends on what comes from bigger games, other games, maybe like Starfield, who knows. I don't even know if they'll be able to top this, because these guys seem to know what they're doing. Anyway, listen, look, you can change the mouth completely. I'm actually going to leave it small right now. Well, I'll take it back small in a moment, because I want to show something. Up and down. Yeah, that's cool, that's cool. Forward and back. That's like this. This can combine quite nicely with the underbite and overbite. Then, mouth corners. Check this out. Check this out. Check it out, check it out. So, you get to sort of put a little smirk on your character. It's not really a smirk, I don't know, but like you can put a little frowny on there, you can sort of pucker them a little bit. You can sort of do what you want. But you can also do just the one side. And I think that's one of the coolest things. Once again, something I've not seen before. I've seen the entirety. I've seen the option to just change the whole thing, but I've not seen this. Look, isn't that cool? You know, she's got a little secret. She's not going to tell you, no. She's going to hold that secret back. She's going to make you work for it. That's not something you can just know. See, that little curl on the lip. It tells a story all by itself. It's not a story of deformation, no. You take that back. It's another story. Let's not mess it up. Let's not ruin the moment, please, okay? So, upper lip. Yes, you can go too far. Should you? Well, I mean, that's up to you. That's actually not too far. Those are nice lips. They actually look kind of natural. So let's make it a little bit more. There you go. Check it out. Isn't that amazing? And we leave the little smirk there. We leave it there. We leave the smirk. I like it. Okay. Back we go. Let's do the ears. Finally, the section that is not my favorite. I mean, I like the options that they give us here, and the fact that you can move the ears around as much as you can, kind of cool. And then they actually have some parts here that, to be perfectly honest, I kind of like. Look at this. So firstly, you can move the position around, and they're pretty generous with the movement, right? That's a generous amount that you can move. But the best part about all of this is that you can take these options, and you can sort of make yourself into like an elf. Look. You can just make your ears sharp. Boom. You're an elf. You want some earlobes? Boom. You're a droopy elf. Maybe you're just really old or something. Make them bigger. Make them smaller. Dainty little ears. You tilt them out. You got some wings. Like, for real. I just want to say, like, you can quite easily make like a natural looking alien. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my skin green, and I'm gonna call my character damn Piccolo. Okay? Yeah, I can do that. I can do that in this game. I love it. What do you want to bet that you can actually probably make a pretty convincing Piccolo? Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Listen. Good options. Once again, the ears are nice. And I actually want to leave them on. I actually want to leave them on. They're beautiful. It's like I thought maybe this would like put me off completely, but I'm actually liking this. You know what? No, I'm keeping it on. I'm keeping it on. I'm brave. Let's go. I don't care what they think. So, skin options. This is basically where you set in like a bit of a texture on your skin, where you are choosing the age of your skin, and where you obviously choosing your skin color. Now, there's more to this. You can obviously go down here to the wrinkles section, and you can sort of change them individually, and these options will sort of link up. But for now, we're just going to take this one. You can see again there are options to make your face look a little older, a little younger, a little smoother, a little rougher, whatever. And then, as I was just mentioning with Piccolo, you can't actually make Piccolo. I'm so sorry, guys, but you can get kind of close. Like you can do some interesting stuff. You can make some sort of interesting looking characters, and I actually mentioned Piccolo because you can actually find like a greenish color here, but you won't get that like bright, intense lime green of Piccolo. But like that, for instance, yeah, there's a green to that, right? There's a green to that. We'll save that one for later. The darkness is fantastic. I want to point this out right now and say that at the end of the video, I'm going to put a couple of sort of characters that I put together for the thumbnails up. I haven't made them yet, but as I've been recording this video, I have been making them in my mind. I've got a few ready to go. One of them is going to be using a dark skin, and you're going to see how nicely you can contrast the dark skin with the light markings. You'll see when we get to the makeup section. It is sick. It is so cool. The dark skin combined with the lighter markings, or vice versa, and then like cool colored eyes, decent hairstyle with bright color. There's so much you can do. But again, the skin color, they give you a decent selection here. You can go pretty bright. To find like a paler color is kind of hard here, because, and I suggest using theirs for that, because, again, like, you can see what the brightest color is. It's this. That's the brightest color, right? But because we're in the forest here, again, the lighting is a little weird. I feel like they should have taken you off into the void somewhere and just given you, like, default plain lighting. But it's whatever. This is something you might have to revisit, is all I'm saying. You might actually pick a color here that might look different when you're actually in the game. But you have a lot of choices. It's not full RGB. You know, I was joking about the Piccolo thing, but it's close enough. It's like, for skin tones, this is kind of nice. And I like the richness of the color here too. Like, you can get a few different shades here that, in all honesty, just look really, really nice. They are beautiful colors. Beautiful colors. Look at that, for instance. Beautiful colors. Absolutely beautiful. And then again, if you are a little bit more indecisive, you can just pick one of these, which we will do right now. And that's cool. That looks nice as well. Fantastic. So, that's it. We're going to jump onto the wrinkles now. You can do the forehead ones. Not super intense. Not getting like saggy skin or anything here. But like you can change a little bit. That's the crow's feet on the eyes. And then the smile lines. I like that a lot. I think it adds a lot of character to the character. But you can take it away and you can be completely smooth skinned. That's fine too. All good. All good. So, that brings us to the end of the face customization, which is kind of crazy to say, considering how long we've been here. Now we're going to jump onto the hair, which is just as impressive. They have a modular hair system. I love it. Not the first game I've seen a modular hair system on, but probably one of the more impressive ones. The hair texture, the look and feel of the hair is pretty cool. It's pretty nice. Again, not the best I've seen. I just spoke about how I was gushing about the Hogwarts Legacy hair. It's not on that level, but for real, that is so much more curated that I don't feel like it's fair to compare. In that you have so few choices in Hogwarts Legacy compared to this, or in a lot of other games that perhaps have really good looking hair compared to this. You have hundreds of thousands probably of combinations in this. I'm not even joking when I say that, because of the amount of modular options that you can put in and out. So we're looking at the presets here. The way this works is the presets give you preset hairstyles, preset colors, preset everything, right? Then, once you've done this, once you've picked something here, you can take it and you can change the style, the color, the front, the top, the back, and all the rest. So you are picking something here that you can customize further. These are just the ones that they sort of offering you to start with. I will point out here that, and this is not something I've pointed out yet, but these are the same on male and female. And there is a sense of equality in this as well, in that you can use beards on the females. But there are some nice hairstyles here. I love the hair physics. I think the braids look really nice here, by the way, as well. I think the highlights, you know, it's not my favorite part. I feel like the highlights, they look a little tacked on sometimes, but the two-toned hair can look really good. And you'll see what I mean. There's actually a highlight plus there's a secondary color. There's a highlight, the highlight has a highlight, and then there's a secondary color for the hair. I'm not even joking. This just makes me think Daenerys Targaryen, which is kind of sick, actually. I bet you can make a mean-looking Daenerys Targaryen in this game. I struggle a lot with this. It's like you have to play that game where you move it. I don't think I can even. Ooh, I made it. That's the only way. I think that this menu was made with controller in mind, but it's whatever. I like this here. Then there are a few others here. Decent choices. All. I think that I would probably be able to make a decent Drizzt, Do-Erden, decent Daenerys Targaryen, decent... Not so decent Piccolo, unfortunately. But, yeah, there's a few nice choices. What I'm going to do, however, that's the presets. I'm going to take this basic one, and I'm going to modify it. So we're going to go back to hairstyles now. And what you can do here, this is fantastic, by the way, is you pick a style, just a basic style. And then what you can do on most of them, not all of them, is you can set the length. And then there's, and it's pretty extensive as well, look. Like, that's massive, right? Then there's a different option that I've not actually seen before in many games. I've seen some similar options before, but nothing like this, where you can set the curliness of your hair. You might think it's not changing much, but if you look at the long parts at the back here, it's adding a waviness to the hair. It's making it slightly less sort of obedient, you know. The hair's a little unruly. It also just sort of makes it look a little bit more textured as well. It looks good on some hair, it looks slightly less good on other hair, but overall it's a nice option to have. More options, sometimes always better. Some fantastic hairstyles here. I'm not going to go through every single one, but you can, as I scroll through here, I mean, I'm not going to go through every single one and move the length and curl up and down, but as I go through here, you can check that some of the styles, if not most of the styles, have these options, and they also work on the different parts. I mean, I say I'm not going to do it, but I'm probably going to end up doing every one of them. Look at how cool that looks at the back there, the curl. That's kind of sick, right? Look at this hair. That's really long. See, now I have to try and sneak this mouse pointer out here. There we go. Very cool. And I, by the way, can tell you right now that when you're actually in the game and you've got armor on, then this sits right against your armor. That gap isn't actually there when you're playing. Lots of hairstyles. And again, I want you to sort of make mental notes of this. Take like snapshots if you can of these styles, because there are a lot of options that are going to be thrown back to this. Look at the curl at the front here. This is actually a perfect representation of it. Look there. That's really cool. Subtle, but pretty satisfying. So make a mental note of the different styles that you have here, because it will serve you well remembering. This one specifically is, to me, like really, really impressive. And I'm saying that right now, and you're looking at this and you're thinking to yourself, what the shit are you on about, Lumen? What are you talking about? Huh? This one? You'll see. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Let's look at the rest of them first. It's a short style. That's kind of a cute style. This one? It's sick. I love it. Nice styles all around. I do wish they'd allow me to like turn the camera with Q&E or something like that. It would kind of help, but unfortunately that is not something you can do. These are perfect. They just fit in the setting, to be honest. Another one of them up here. Oh, actually I might be able to go... Oh yeah, I can go left and right like this. That's easier. There we go. I can just use the arrows to move around. That's beautiful, man. Wow. Check it out. So if I select this one, that's really cool. Oh man, look at that. That's nice. Very nice. Kind of nice that you can get different accessories and stuff as well. There's a neat and tidy style. One more. Here we go. Very cool. They do curly hair really well in this. Again, keep in mind you can change the length on most of these. You can make them all curly. No length on this one. Decent afro. Not the best I've seen. Again, I will reference this Harry Potter game. Look at that. Yeah. Why not? Interesting style here. This is that guy from My Hero Academia, right? Yeah. Who takes the little balls off his head and throws them. And then you got a bald style. That's the final one. So, let me show you how this works, right? If you pick a style, then first things first, you can do the color, right? Then you can see that there will be different options available. Like on this one, for instance, you can do the front. And we're going to go through them, but not all of them, obviously. I'm just going to show you how it works. We're going to get to the color in just a moment. I just want to show you how this works quickly. So basically, you are changing exactly this part, nothing else. So if you look, you have like a side part there. You have like the little covering the eye bit there. You have some strands, longer strands. There's some bangs, and so on and so forth. And let me just show you how many there are here. Look at this. Okay, we're going to get back here in a second. Let's just quickly do the colors. So the way the color works is main color, right? This is full RGB again, right? Full RGB. You can do anything you want. I'm going to give you a few examples quickly. I'll take white here, right? And I'll take black on the other one. So basically, let's take white. Then let's do enabled, and let's take black. Now you can see that you've got the main color and then the ends, right? Disable, enable, disable, enable. Good. Each style has a different setup for that. So they went through all of this. Each of them works a little bit differently. Each of them looks a little different. They all have it, but in different ways, right? So it's like this one, for instance. Look at that. That's beautiful. So it's something you can set up like that. It's something that you can customize. Then, on top of that, if you disable this, you can enable highlights. And then the highlights are custom highlights that they put in every style. And the highlights can have 2 colors, which to me is just like bonkers. There is so much you can do with this. So let's put like that and the yellow in. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. You can enable this. You can enable that. And then look. It's some rainbow hair. And every one of these styles has basically like a different way of doing this. Check it out. Isn't that sick? So, yeah, needless to say, the hair modifications, the modular hair that they have here, it is awesome. It's really well done. You can do so much with it. You might say to yourself, like, you might think, ah, but this looks terrible, Lumen. Like, what the hell? That looks so janky and like, ugh. Yeah, and you know, that's me, okay? Why the hell would you combine black, white, pink, and yellow? That's why it looks bad. You need to come and throw your own options in there. You need to make something magnificent for yourself. Don't rely on the old Lumen to do it for you, huh? Yeah. Don't. So, those are the options. We're going to disable them now. I've shown them off to you. Keep, once again, all of that in mind as we progress through here. Because, yeah. Then finally, we have the accessory color. This is pretty self-explanatory. The hairstyles that have the accessories on, look, you can see as an example the yellow elastic up there. That's sort of almost green. There, the 2 elastics in the hair. This one. And then there's this one style with these big ones in. Let's see, where's that? This one here. You can change the colors on those. If you go here now, you only get to change the one, unfortunately, so that one had red in it. But, yeah, you can make it any color you want. That's that. Now, I showed you how the front of the head thing works. We're going to look at all the options here quickly. I will just go over here. I'll scroll through them quickly. Lots of different options. And honestly, I don't quite understand how they managed to come up with so many. And then, you know, you can also just do this. In case you didn't notice, you can pick one and you can modify them completely. It's kind of ridiculous if you think about it. It's kind of ridiculous. And it just gets worse, which is to say it gets better. Look at all these different options. Look at this. It's crazy. Okay, let's pick a subtle one. Let's take this one. Keep it long as nice. Okay. Then, top of the head. This one doesn't have a top of the head customization. Let's look at back and then we'll come back for the top. Let's have a look here. This is the ponytail for the back of the head. Lots of different options here. Modular hairstyle, once again. This is something that's sort of already baked into the preset styles that they have. So keep in mind that, you know, all of this stuff here, you can find it already implemented if you just pick a hairstyle. Like you pick one of these, it's got a certain back on combined with a certain top combined with a certain front. Let's find one that has a top quickly. Oh yeah, this is the one I was talking about. Hold on. So if I take this, where is it? This one. Check this out. One of the best hairstyles just because. Unassuming, boring. Then you start scrolling through these and you think to yourself, wow, did not see that coming. And they're hidden. These styles are hidden behind that. Like, no one's going to pick that, man. Look, this. No one's going to pick this. So no one's going to find these styles. They're cool. And again, you get to change the length and stuff. Look, so if I go over here, I pick that one. Let's take that. Look. Even get to make it curly. It is so cool. Look at that. I love it. Yeah. Cool. So we've looked at that now. We're going to jump back in and I'm going to try find something. We looked front, top, back. Let's find double braid quickly. Double braid, that explains itself. It's sort of an easy one to get. It will be this one. It's when you have the double braid at the front. This gives you a few more options on them. Well, on the sides, I guess you could say. That one's kind of cool with the circle. It's nice. And then again, you can sort of customize the length on some of them, as you can see, the curl on some of them, and so on and so forth. Single braid, once again, explains itself. Like this one, for instance, has a single braid. These are the options available. Big ones, small ones. You got some top knots. Cool options. A lot of different stuff. Then, hair pieces. Where do I find hair pieces? It's like, this is crazy. Let's go back to the start. There you go. The hair pieces are little bits of unruly hair that you can pick for your character. This is how I pulled the number of hundreds of thousands out. You know, you might have at the time thought to yourself, ah, there's no way. Yeah, there's a way. There's a way. Look. There are so many different choices. Like little bits and strands that are like unruly, and you can even change the length on them. If I pick this one, look at that. I think it's fantastic. So cool. Nape. The certain styles that have nape are the ones that go over the back of your neck. The only reason I know where the nape is Attack on Titan. Thanks, Attack on Titan. Thanks. You did not just ruin my dreams and or nightmares, but you also taught me where the nape is. There you go. That's the back part, basically, over here. And you get to change this. Length, curl, everything. Kind of nice. Yeah, kind of nice. And then finally the hairline. That will be on certain styles as well. More likely, yeah, I was about to say, ones that have the stubble. You can basically hide the stubble, or you can show the stubble. Some of them have an option to just like 100% remove it, where it's like completely smooth, nothing there. But yeah, it's whatever. It's whatever. It's a good option to have overall anyway. Let's pick a style here that we like. I'm going to go with this one. No, wait. Yeah, this is fine. Let's go with this. I want to say, like, I want to take a different one just because I want to be able to see the makeup properly, but I don't think we'll have makeup on the side of the face, really, so this is fine. That's it for the hair options. Crazy. There's so much. Then we have beards. And, yeah, we actually have beards on the ladies, and I think that is awesome. When it comes to beards on the ladies, Baldur's Gate was one of my favorites. Baldur's Gate 3's customization allows you to put the beards on, and they have some really nice hair and beard physics and textures and stuff. It's a good thing. It's cool. You don't want to limit people in any way, shape, or form. There are a few decent beards here to start with. Once you've picked the one you want, you can jump back in here and change the color. The color system works much the same as the hair system, and it's done like that because they want you to be able to mix and match. They want you to be able to mix it up and then match the hair with the beard, if that is what you'd like. So for the purposes of this video, I will show you how it looks. I'll enable the end colors and show you how that looks. There you go. So if we look at the different beards, you can sort of see how it will look with the longer one. I didn't save it. Oh, did I save it? There we go. Oh, I'd have to pick it first, I guess, and then go for it. So if I take this one, save the white, there you go. So it looks a little different on each of them, but you get the idea. Then there are highlights again. I'll show you how it looks in this. There's the pink at the bottom, there's the yellow in the middle. It's honestly kind of crazy how much they give you. Then, if that wasn't already enough, and you can customize that a whole lot, you get to change the mustache any which way you like, and then you get to customize those changes that you make. Not a huge difference between like 20 and 0 here. That's sort of a little disappointing, but like I'm not about to complain because they've given me so many options already. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You can even go sort of understated with it, and you can sort of mess around with the bottom part here. It's once again completely modular, so you can go full on beard, or you can just be sort of more reserved with it, or more curated. You know, you can go for a certain style, or you can just go crazy. Once again, you can change the length on some of these, like for instance this one. Not changing much, but yeah. Then I think we have reached the end of the beards. Yeah, that's it. I like it. Once again, for the purposes of the customization, I'm going to turn this all off. I kind of like the way the character looks now, so let's mess it up with some makeup. Because that's what happens when I am in charge of the makeup. Eyeliner is first up. Pretty cool. I'm going to change the color on it, however. Let's make it yellow so that you can see it. It's just... Look, it might be a better idea to make it something that looks slightly less hardcore. I'll zoom in all the way, but nah, whatever. Let's just go hardcore. Listen. You guys know. There, I'll put it on black. Okay, now it's there. It's less intense. But like, you can't really see it when you do this. It's very subtle, okay? But I think that's more the idea, right? Because when you get to the later ones here, it's about to say, you sort of get the subtlety sort of, it takes a walk. You end up with the hardcore options here, with the butterflies, with the tendrils, with the horns, with the rainbows. Some of them you can change the color on, others you cannot. On all of them you can change the shade, which is the opacity, and that's kind of sick. There are a lot of cool options here. There are some basic ones, and there are cool ones, and once again, as I mentioned, you can change the color on all of them, and you can go crazy with it. So keep that in mind as we go forward. Let's turn it off, so we can see what the eyeshadow looks like, unhindered. That's at the bottom of the eye, or around the eye. You can see it's sort of a red shade at the moment. Then we have the rainbow ones here, which you will not be able to change the colors of. Very nice. That one's got like little stars in it and stuff. Like, that's awesome. So yeah, some fantastic choices here. Fine choices. Needless to say, you can put all of this makeup on the male characters as well. 100%. So I'm going to turn the length up all the way here so you can see what these guys look like. Now, you can see by the preview that you can actually change color 1 and color 2. So you can sort of do this if you'd like. It looks kind of weird, but you know, why not? If you want to look like a bird of paradise, you can do that. Yeah. Just by applying some nice colors to your eyelashes. Absolutely. But for real, this actually looks really nice. The colors are beautiful. That's nice. Okay. Let's, speaking of beauty, let's just Okay. Just take it off. Just take it off, please. Just take it off. There we go. Right. Next up, we have the blush. The two choices you have here are less and more, basically. They're just sort of like different positions. And if you change the color to a slightly more intense one, you can see, if I do it like that, it's just slightly different positions, slightly more, slightly less. And what you can do is, these can be moved in their entirety. You can put them anywhere. You can make cool shapes with them if you'd like, by changing the size and the positioning. Look. Like that, for instance. If you make this like, let's say, a blue. Yeah. So you can do that if you'd like. It's kind of nice. And it goes all the way around your face, which is cool. You can't always do all of that with the face markings. You can do fantastic stuff with it. It's all on you, the amount of customization, but basically keep in mind that you can change the size, which is pretty flexible in how it moves around, and you can also change the position, which is even more flexible. And at the end of the day, if you want to, you can cover the entire face, just part of the face, or none of the face. So yeah, go crazy with that. Lipstick. Probably one of the less interesting parts. There's nothing really fanciful here. You can choose different settings on the lipstick. Some of them more glossy, as you can see over here. Some of them less glossy. Some of them more intense. Some of them less intense. Let me make it a slightly darker shade so you can see. It's good. There's decent options for lipstick. It's acceptable. But obviously compared to the other stuff that they've got in here, it's kind of lackluster. Not that I think that really breaks any deals or anything. It's good. It's fine. There are some options for lipstick. Once again, both on male and female. No limitations there. Then we get onto the interesting part, the face markings. You have 3 slots. They are the same. So face marking 1, 2, and 3, exactly the same. What it allows you to do is it allows you to take these shapes and or markings, and you can put 3 of them down on your face and combine them any which way you like. So you can look at all of these. You can take one, put it next to the other, take one, put it on top of the other, and make whatever you want with it. There are scars, as you can see over here, and in my opinion, the scars look pretty good. I do think that specifically with the scars, you might want to like change them a little bit in terms of like the size, for instance. Like when you make them too big like this, they look a little bad, right? So if you bring it into the middle and you look at the scar like that, to me that looks pretty damn good. And then with the positioning and with the size and stuff, you can line it up perfectly to accentuate the different parts of your face. Like for instance, that right there, you know? So yeah, you can sort of go crazy. You can put it on your lip down there, anywhere on your face. This can go anywhere. And then again, with the size, the rotation, the position, all of it, you can do a whole lot. But let me show you the rest of these markings first. There's some scars. Then there's some pretty interesting looking scars and markings that, like this one, for instance, like a vein, like a lightning shape. This one looks like someone branded you or something. This one looks like you got knocked really hard and your skin cracked because you're made of clay, which again is something you can go for. You can make your character look like it's a stone golem or something. You can roleplay like that, you know? You can do it because of the skin colors and options that you have. You can do that. Then there are some that, and we haven't even gotten to the colors yet, but that have full colors on them. You can change the colors of some of these. You can't change the colors on some others, like for instance these leaves. But any way you do it, you can quite possibly mess everything up tremendously. And you can make your character look like a damn clown. As an example, butterfly. It's got its own color scheme over there, but when you start changing the colors, it mixes it up for you. It can look really nice, but then you can also make it look, slightly less nice by just fiddling. Look at that. Like, where do we even get that from? It like grows exponentially. You see what I'm saying? And you can be really creative with this. I'm not joking when I say that. You can be really creative with this. Like, you can make a nice little mask with this. Check it out. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I did that, see? I did that. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. On the lip, is that where they're going to put it? Okay, anyway. So what I'm saying is that you have a lot of options here. You have a lot of colors that you can change. You have a lot of different bits and pieces that you can combine. Then you have a few full face ones that do this, for instance. It's like face paint. And these ones that are like full-on tattoos. And once again, you can sort of do some interesting stuff with them. I mentioned before that I was going to do something cool with the contrast. This is what I was going to use. You can change the color on this for a lot of different things. You can... Oops, I didn't mean to go back there. You can customize it to your heart's content, and you can make it look pretty sick. Like, you can make some interesting combinations. Keep in mind, once again, I'll leave the freckles on. That's weird. I find it weird that the freckles are hidden all the way at the end here. It's whatever. But I do find it, like, kind of crazy, just considering how much you can do. Like, I've got the freckles on there now. Keep in mind, you can put one on, then you can throw another one on. And legitimately, you can, like, do anything. Like, let's just throw a damn block on there. It doesn't matter. Then you can take a little dot, and you can put it on the block. You can change the color of that, and you can call yourself... I think the dot might be below the block now. But you can call yourself the... Let's just make it a bit bigger so I can show you. Let's do this. You can call yourself the Great Block Dot. Okay? You can do whatever. You can make a story up. You can just... decorate yourself for fun, like a Christmas tree. It's whatever. There's a whole lot of cool stuff you can do, but there's obviously at the same time a whole lot of ways you can mess up a perfectly good character. So I'm going to say use it with care. And check, double check, triple check. Be sure that you like what you've done. It's a great system. It's really cool. There's a lot here. And again, all the different colors, all the different combinations. You can do some nice stuff. Okay, moving on to body. Body options. Yeah, you even have body options. One of the slightly less interesting parts, but they have the important stuff here. First things first, you can change the height of your character. Not a massive difference between tall and short. The head size, also not a massive difference. I think either of them looks fine. You can change the fullness, which is not so much just weight, but like it's bulk. I think the word would probably be bulk of your character. You can do the musculature. I liked that they didn't shy away from big muscles on the ladies, or at least defined muscles, because they sometimes do. Then you can do the bust. And yeah, I mean, it gets pretty busty. Also, you can take it all away, if you so desire. That's up to you. Buttocks. They obviously have posterior dimensions here. And I'm going to be real with you for a second. It looks better on the males. Yeah, I said it. Then you can change the stride length. I don't really know what this is. I've tried to like consider what it could be. The idea, I think, is just the way your character runs and how quick they move their feet. So like I'm assuming that if you set it to the one side, your character is going to take longer strides, to the other side shorter strides. It can't have too much of an effect. It can't be too big a difference, but there it is. Chest markings. This is much the same, and I'm actually going to quickly... Nah, there's enough space here. It's fine. This is much the same as the markings that we saw for the face. I think that... I'm not going to say all of them are here, but I think that most of the options are here. There might be a few extra. They are shaped and sort of changed accordingly. Yeah, there are a few extra ones here. Like, look at the detail on that. Look at that. That's crazy. Look at all those colors. There are bigger ones like this. Massive designs here. It's beautiful. The amount of options is beautiful. There you go. And then, as with the facial markings, you can pick one of them, right? Then you can come over here. You can change the color entirely to anything full RGB. I'll show you now. There you go. Any color you want. Let's take red and then change it back to black. And then you can change the size. And they don't hold back with this. It's like you think to yourself, okay, it's not going to be such a big amount that you can move around, but like it really is. Look. And for whatever reason, somehow it doesn't lose quality, which to me is kind of crazy. It doesn't lose quality. It's just fine, you know? It's fine. Now, this is your chest marking, which is, if you look at it here, it's up to there, to the neck. You can see where it cuts off. It doesn't go through to the leg, so it ends somewhere around here. And it doesn't go around to the back. It ends right there. What you can do is you can link this up with the back, the arm, the leg, and you can make some pretty spectacular designs. Now, I'm going to show you where those other ones are in terms of positioning, right? So let's go back to the start here quickly. Back markings. In terms of positioning, it's the same stuff, so I'm not going to show you every single one, but they are pretty much the entire back. It goes all the way up to your neck. You can see at the top there, and then all the way down onto the buttocks. And then on the sides, right there's the end. You can actually link it up. I tested. You can link it up with the front one if you'd like. And you can put one of each of these on, by the way. There's no holding back. Then, on the arm, we're going to have to change our outfit quickly. On the arm, as you can see over there. Where was I? This one. You can move it around here too. Position. All the way down to the front. To right by the hands. All the way up onto the top of the shoulder. There you go. It's cool. It's honestly really cool. Yeah. There it is. The right arm. Let's take this one off just because. Same thing on the left. As you can see. The legs. Now I have to change the outfit again. There we go. Left leg. I'm just going to show you how it works quickly. Where you can put it. Oop, wrong one, sorry. Position. Goes all the way down to like right by the foot. Goes all the way up. Presumably up to the buttocks. And that's it. That's the markings. The markings on the arms and the legs are the same. It's the same as the chest and the back ones. Not the same as the face ones. A little bit different there. Once again, you can change the colors and all the rest. It's a great system. There's a lot that it has going for it. Then, details. This is the final menu. Here you can choose your undergarments. This is a pretty normal, I want to say regular, thing to change in a Monster Hunter style game. I will also just say that I feel like the options here are slightly limiting. I don't know if there'll be more in the game, but at this point you've got this one, and this one. I like the bandage. I just thought that this bottom part, the legs here, don't really match the top. Because, I mean, like, it's the same as this one. Just long. I don't know, but I actually kind of like this. It's some sort of weird mix between lace and chainmail. So, yeah, this one's pretty sick. You can pick whatever you want. You can pick whatever it is you like. I'll take this one for now. Then you get to choose your voice. There are... I'm going to sort of just guess quickly. I think it's 11 female voices. I think that was the number. And 9 male voices. You'll see right now. I'm going to play them all for you. You can listen to them quickly. You can turn the sound volume up. I won't say anything during it. I'll talk again after. So here we go.
Ready to go. Completed. It's complete.
All in place. Construction complete. Everything's in place. Prepared for the worst. My defeat.
Completed. That feels better.
Too slow. Let's do this. Let's use this.
That was good.
Back in action. Everything's in place. All boxed off.
Everything's in place.
All boxed off.
Let's do this.
This is
All boxed off.
Let's do this. Everything's in place.
Let's do this.
This is my end.
Let's do this.
It's over.
Osasugiru. Let's do this.
Get a load of this. Let's use this. Not so tough. All sorted now. Not so tough now. Construction complete. All sorted now.
It's over. I saw that that was good. Let's use this.
See how you like that?
Here goes. Just in case.
Work complete.
It's over.
Let's do this. Not so back in shape.
Just let's do this. Fired up!
Back in action. Let's do this.
It's over.
Finished! Just in case. Finished! Let's use this!
There you go. So I was wrong. It's 10 and 10. I actually, for some reason, thought on the male side it was 9 and 11, but it's whatever. You can choose whichever voice you want. You're not limited to a female voice on a female body. You can do what you feel like. It's great. It's great. Yeah, and the voices, I think that they are definitely varied enough. It's a Monster Hunter style game, so your character is not going to be talking. You are going to be a silent protagonist. The let's do this and let's go and okay and those things are probably mostly from emotes and stuff like that that you'd use. Your character is going to be giving a lot of like, nods and stuff like that. And that's basically it. So I wouldn't worry too much about the voice, but you're still going to hear it when your character attacks and charges and does all that other stuff. So pick what you like there. Then you get to pick your personality. This is the way your character stands around, the way your character carries itself. There are some alright choices here. I feel like this one is a little weird. I don't know what they were going for here. All of them look a little awkward, to be honest. Not all, okay, most of them look a little awkward. Like, I don't know what they were going for. But, you know, you can at least choose to not stand in the normal idle fashion. I like the crossed arms the most. Or the basic one. It's whatever. But you can pick that. Then finally, you get to set here whether you want your headgear enabled by default or disabled, and then you can also do the same for your collar. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Apparently that little bar across the head has to stay there. I don't know, it's part of the armor. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's nice that they give you that option right here, and it's not something you have to search for in the options menu. But that does bring us to the end of the character creator in Wild Hearts. And I'm actually a little sad. Because wow, it was amazing. They have done a lot of stuff here that I've actually never seen before to this point. They have, let's just say, pushed the envelope a little bit. Put some things in here that I feel I'd like to see in future character creators. I'd like other people to do the same stuff. I think that there are like one or two like minor points that I could say are a little disappointing, but it's not even worth mentioning. The good stuff outweigh the bad 100 to 1. It is a awesome character creator, and for the most part, I think that you can make almost anything you want using this system. There is so much. And you know, I was like going on about like the modular hair and how cool it is, and then the sliders within the sliders, the individual choices that you can make with like the movement of like the eyes and repositioning them individually, the little smirk on the mouth. There are so many things that I can point out specifically and say, hey, that's something that I've not seen before. That's something that I had not actually seen in a character creator until this point. And that's impressive, because character creators in games have been around for a long time, yet people are still finding ways to innovate and make them more interesting. So kudos to these guys. They've done a fantastic job. I think that with this character creator, we are going to be seeing a whole lot of awesome designs. We're going to be seeing people pushing this system to its limits and making things that you would not expect to find in any game. So I love it. Yeah. I am thoroughly impressed, and if I had to, and I mentioned this during the course of the video, set up like a top character creators video, this would be right close to the top. For a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons. They were creative with this, and with the devs being creative, with the artists being creative, they allow us to be even more creative ourselves. So yeah, I'm impressed. I love it. I'm going to, as I said, include a couple of designs in here that I made for the thumbnail. You can check those out if you so desire. You can have a look at those and enjoy. With that said, however, you can check back here soon for more. Give this one a like and share it and do all that other good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. It is always a pleasure to have you guys. If you've been playing Wild Hearts, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear if you've been enjoying the game. If you are like a Monster Hunter veteran, if you've been playing these kinds of games for a long time, how's it sitting with you? Does it feel good? Is it scratching that itch? Is it something that you are going to be coming back to? I'm keen to hear, so let me know. And as always, happy creating those characters. Happy that.